update here at the Avenor, the site where the building collapsed, is that one more person has been retrieved. Hello, Nana 24, can you hear me? So I'm saying the update here at the Avenor site where the building collapse took place is that one more person has been retrieved under the rubble. This brings to a total 3 persons who have successfully been retrieved. Now, the good news is that 2 persons have passed, or rather, the unfortunate news, I beg your pardon, is that 2 persons have passed and 1 person has survived. The survivor has been treated by the National Ambulance Service that were here earlier, and he's been discharged. I spoke to him earlier, I'm referring to the survivor, and he said to me that although he was relieved to not be trapped under the rubble, he has friends and he knows people who are still trapped under the rubble, and it was making it very difficult for him, knowing that people he know and stayed with and did a lot of things together with are stuck under the rubble. So the update is that one more person has been retrieved, but unfortunately the person did not survive. We are being told that it's believed the most recent person retrieved was male. We don't have the full details as to the identity of the person, but some onlookers here tell me that it is somebody who they know or believe to be staying inside the building, using the place as a temporary place of abode. So now for the updates, as I can tell you from Avenor, is that 3 persons or 3 bodies have been recovered. 2 of them, unfortunately, have passed, and 1 of them survived. The Interior Minister, the Minister for the Interior, Mubarak Muntaka, is here. The Accra Mayor Nick Bakpo is also here. We've seen the Chief Fire Officer also make her way here, and they are supervising or looking on as the rescue effort is going on. A lot is happening right now. As of the time I got to this scene at around 7 a.m. in the morning, there was no excavator here. In fact, we had to wait up until close to 10 a.m. before we saw the first excavator arrive. Some few minutes later, another one joined. But as you can see in your shots right now, we have close to 6 excavators, or let me be specific, right? I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 excavators. There's another one, I think, around, but has been taken back, and I'm sure they'll probably return it to continue the effort in rescuing those who have been trapped under the rubble. The Vice President, Her Excellency, Professor Jane Nano Pokwa-Jiman, made her way here. She saw the extent of damage and spoke to the press in the aftermath of her assessment of the situation. Now, according to the Vice President, it was important that as citizens, we all act together in a manner that do not create some of these problems. And she was talking about building on waterways. She was making reference to other conduct by residents that can create situations like this. She also made mention of the fact that it was possible that we all play our role to ensure that whatever the endeavor we are engaged in, we play by the rule. Play by the rule in the sense that we go through all the right processes required in terms of documentation, in terms of building permits, so that instances like this do not repeat again. So those were the words of the Vice President. She also took time to commend the officials who are here working, helping with the rescue effort. She thanked the police service, the military, the Ghana National Fire Service, the ambulance service, as well as NADMO and officials from the National Security for their effort in trying to retrieve and rescue persons who have been affected by this. The Member of Parliament also took time to engage me. I asked him questions around the delay in the excavators arriving on time. And he said to me that although the DRIP project gave each district an excavator, the movement of such excavators, because of the nature of these heavy machines, require that other things are put in place before they can move. And those things, he said, were not in place. So hence the delay in the arrival of the excavator. But eventually it came, and they are ongoing with the process of rescuing these persons believed to be trapped under the rubble. Initially, we were told that between 2 to 3 persons are trapped in there. So far, 1 has been rescued, 2 more persons are in there, believed to be a mother and a baby or a child. So we'll be hoping to get as much information as possible so that we can share with the public as this rescue effort is ongoing. So many officials here, most of them have spoken to us already. I'll try and get a few thoughts as to how this process is ongoing. But we've been joined again by the Member of Parliament. He spoke to us earlier and told us a lot of things, but it's been a few hours since that interview, and I've been joined again by Member of Parliament for Kaikwe South, Ernest Kion Adomako. Honorable, the last time you spoke to me, the excavators were here and working. Since then, we've seen that 1 more person has been retrieved in the ongoing rescue efforts. What else can you report to us or tell us about this process?
Currently, there's nothing to report, but you just said it all. You were here and you saw everything that was happening. So we are told there's 1 woman and a daughter in there. So we are still working.
I also saw that you were very busy helping with coordinating the process, showing officials where they could get what to help with the process. What would you say has been your role since you got here?
Oh, we've done a lot. I mean, trying to fuel the machines, and then trying to speak to the rescue team and everything, trying to organize and make sure that we put things in place. And we are still working. So let's talk after.
No problem. Thank you so much for your time. So the Member of Parliament, there clearly you can tell that he looks tired, really. It's really been a long morning for those of us who've been here since about 7 a.m. He himself got here quite early and was reporting and telling us, giving us updates as and when we needed it. Now he tells us that he will be able to give us a fuller picture of the situation as and when they have been informed by the men on the ground helping with the rescue effort. Of course, he also mentioned that as part of his role as Member of Parliament for the area, he's been helping with the coordination efforts. There were times where some of the vehicles on site had to go and refill in terms of fuel. Now, the Member of Parliament was explaining to me that he was instrumental in getting this done. Of course, the Minister for the Interior, Mubarak Muntaka, is here busily observing the process. He's been here since the arrival of the Vice President. The Vice President has left, but he's still here monitoring events as they unfold. Now, Nana Tufo, if you can see the work ongoing, there's a building that was adjoined to the building that has been demolished. Now, I'm being told by one of the high-ranking Ghana National Fire Service officials that there's going to be a request for demolition of that building because clearly they are unsure of the structural integrity of that particular building. So the building is likely to come down. So we are being told that it was joined to the building that has been demolished. There was a pathway that you could use to access it. And if you can see on your screen, there's even a door and a partly broken walkway, right? Actually a destroyed walkway. Now I've been told that it was possible to access the collapsed building from the building still standing. But that won't happen for long because this particular building would have to come down due to the nature of the rescue efforts ongoing. So Nana Tufo, it's been a really difficult exercise here at Avenor. Another struggle really was as a result of the rain. It made the work quite difficult for the officials on the ground because they had to work, under very intense conditions. Another struggle really was that when we got here, we could see an electricity transformer right in front of the building. Now, it was very difficult for officials to be able to get inside to where the debris is because of the hindrances that were in their way. And I'm making reference to the electricity transformer as well as other electrical cables. Now, what has happened is that officials from the electricity company of Ghana were here and they disconnected the high tension. In fact, I'm being told, I've been prompted that officials from the ECG are still here working on the wiring or electricity wiring in the area. What we do know is that all of the high tension poles that were connected along the stretch have been disconnected. So there's no electricity in the area, and that was to give access and give room for officials to be able to get in there and do the hard work of evacuating persons believed to be trapped under the rubble. Now, Nanatufo, we also know that when incidents of this nature occur, there is a central command post that is created at the accident or disaster scene. Now, when we got here, we didn't see any of that, but I managed to get an interview with Honorable Teddy Addy. Now, he's the deputy NADMO boss, and he said to me that the command post is currently, or at the time, was a makeshift command post which was directly opposite where I'm standing. Now, where I'm currently standing is right in front of a latex foam shop. Now, under a little shed there, a temporary command post was created. Now, we are being told that officials are trying to get access to Melcom, which is a big shopping center on my right, to be able to get in there and use their facility as a makeshift command post so that they can get in there and draw up strategy and operational, command or operational ways to go about this rescue effort. So a lot has happened really in the past couple of hours. It's been grim really for those who are working, trying to retrieve the persons, for onlookers and other eyewitnesses here, and for people who know the area very well. They tell me that they are not confident of any successful attempt in rescuing these persons alive. The National Fire Service boss, who is heading this operation, tells me that it's a 50-50 chance, and it is very likely that they may be able to rescue some people alive. 2 more persons are feared in there. It could be more, because again, eyewitnesses tell me that the particular building that has collapsed is sort of a haven for some persons who don't have accommodation, who don't have homes. They use the ground floor of this building as a place to try and rest when it's raining or during the evening when they don't have any place to go. So they know of only 2 people who actually stay in there. But for persons who use the place as a temporary place of shelter, it could be more. So Nanatufo, what we are seeing right now in your shot are officials from the Ghana National Fire Service. They are putting in place some efforts to try and go inside to ascertain what the problem can be. We've seen them also head to the transformer to make the necessary checks before they get inside. I'll try and get someone from the National Fire Service to explain to us what is actually happening. We've seen that they are trying to get into the Ghana National Fire Service. We are trying to get into the electricity meter, but we are not sure what exactly is happening. So we'll be joined very shortly by a chief fire officer or one of the heads of the fire service. He goes by the name Mr. Osmond Enum. Now let me say that Mr. Osmond, when I got here, was already here. Eyewitnesses say that he's been here since early in the morning, and he'll be sharing with us what exactly is happening as far as their operational strategy is concerned. They've set up behind me and they want to share a few insights into this. Hello, welcome, madam. This is Channel 1 TV.
Thank you.
I've seen that your men have been here since morning. In fact, some of the eyewitnesses tell me that the Ghana National Fire Service were the first people to arrive here. And a lot has happened since then. But currently, we are seeing that your men have lined up and are trying to work on something at the ECG transformer over there. What exactly is happening? Are you able to explain to us?
Yes. We need a vast area to work, but the transformer is actually interrupting the activities of the earth movement machine. So what we are doing now is that we are just trying to cut the stance of the transformer so that we'll look for one of the equipment to lift the transformer from the place so we can get the clear area to work.
So, if I get you correctly, this transformer is about to be collapsed to create a bigger working space for your men.
We are not collapsing it, we are lifting it from where it is now to a safe place, and after the operations, UCG looks at how it mounts it back.
Are you able to explain to our viewers, for the purposes of education, the kind of machinery you are using in this exercise?
This is a cutting tool. It is connected with a hydraulic means, but the cables to the hydraulic means are so delicate, so we should ensure that nobody walks over it. And that is why we are putting our men on both sides to check for no movement. And nobody should be within the area of work. And that is what we are trying to do.
How long will this exercise, how long is it expected to go on for?
Oh, I believe it should be less than 15 minutes. They should.
Thank you so much for your time. But finally, before you go, I've seen that you have been very busy today together with your chief fire officer and other officials here. But what can you tell us about the process itself, the main rescue efforts ongoing? One body has been recovered. Are we to expect a lot more bodies still under the rubble?
Well, from the information gathered, when we arrived around 10 past 5, we were told that there were 4 people in there. 2 were able to move out, and out of the 2, 1 had an injury, who was treated by the ambulance service. Then we were informed that there were 2 more people in, 1 female, 1 male. We've been able to rescue the male out, but his condition, it is only the doctor who can declare. We are yet to trace, per the operational plan we took. We are now targeting where the female is so that she would be rescued.
Interesting. We are also told that she has a child in there. Is that a confirmed report?
Currently, we actually spoke with the caretaker of the place, and we were told she sleeps there alone. So that information might not be right. Because none of us here lives there. He has been here with the people, and that is the information we've gathered from her so far.
All of this, do we know who owns this building we are referring to?
Currently, as I stand, our aim is to get the rescue done, and I think that will be a latter information to be gathered.
The other concern is that the building right next to the one that has been, or that has collapsed, is a concern for many. Do you have an idea what the next line of action will be in relation to that building?
The Interior Minister has earlier mentioned that that building should be pulled down. But as it stands now, when we try to pull it down, it would actually affect our work in progress, because already there are a lot of load there that needs to be carried out. And I believe that would be done after the victim has been rescued.
Madam, please, my final question, and thank you so much for your patience. When are we to see men actually try get under the rubble? Already we've seen a few of your men walk on there. Currently, there's even a soldier up there as well. But when are we to see men get inside as far as the rescue efforts are concerned?
You seeing them there was for us to map a strategy of how to evacuate the woman that is there. And the debris at its stance should be removed in layers, because if we don't take time, we may also hurt her if she is alive. So that is why that delay, because you need to be strategic to do all those things.
Thank you so much for your time. Your name, please?
I am Deputy Chief Officer Roberta Agreganson, the Director of Operations, Ghana National Fire Service.
Grateful